In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, let's take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, and Sophie. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play a college star druid named Alin.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
Daria?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
And Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales and I play a human wizard named Charlotte.
Excellent. So take it away.
All right. So we are in the room with the beautiful scenery, and there is a unicorn. Please don't pet it. And Delin is laying in the grass, and Zenise attunes to the helmet, and Charlotte's on her watch and sees a small elf peeking out. And it says, "Oh, it speaks. I didn't know the room does that." And Charlotte has a little conversation with her where she's trying to decide, are you real or not? And the little creature says that she is not real, sort of. It gets really confusing, and Charlotte establishes that she's trapped under the pile of rubble over by the doorway, and she wants to get out. And Cracker says, "Uh, this person's dead, and keep her busy because I don't know if this is for real or I've had my experience with cute small ghosts." And meanwhile, Charlotte keeps her busy asking her questions like, "Show us some tricks." And the creature says, "Can you control someone's mind?" Which was an interesting statement. But she asks her name and she says, "I'm V, and who are you?" And so Delin and Charlotte introduce themselves. Everyone's getting up at this point because we're a little concerned. And she was visiting this kingdom, Gauntlgrim, when there were mind flares and blind, creepy creatures and things and gray dwarfs. And she ran in here, and she's been here ever since. And Delin figures out she's been dead for a long time, but she can't figure out like how long. And when Cracker uncovers where she rests, it's a coffin under the pile of rubble. And V says, "It's not a coffin, it's a bed." And Doors just like to make things comfortable, so it's just their style. A little devious, which was a little weird. And Delin knows Clarissa and starts to put two and two together and kind of wonders if she might be a vampire. Is she a ghost? And so there's a little I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Cracker's ready for it. And the wind didn't affect her when Charlotte was messing around showing some tricks. And she didn't float away. So we figure she must be around 350 years old, but not old when she died. She's beautiful but super slight. And we established that she's not going to attack us when we rescue her corpse, maybe? And so we open the coffin with caution, and inside it is apparently a keepsake's in there somewhere. It's a locket, and a little gold something. And we find some silks, and we find a pillow that isn't in the worst shape, smells a bit. Coffin was hermetically sealed, but everything breaks down, so it's kind of everything's really dusty and blech. And that's what we do. We take her little locket and she comes with us. We put it in the bag of holding and away we go. It's kind of, I'm not sure at that point, I'm pretty sure she's just sort of vanishes, or she's with us as part of the group. But we exit the room and we realize that we are starving and thirsty, and everyone looks rough and feeling unbelievably tired, as if we've been lost for days. And Delin uses her stone of sending. Who are you calling with the stone of sending again? Delin?
Silot
Henrietta.
Hall.
Oh, okay. And establishes it's been 5 days, I think. And so Delin Goodberries us up, and Blythe learns the word for thanks, which is Dianki, I think it is, but it's spelled really interestingly. And we head for the kitchen, and rubble fills the doorway, and the blocks were blown out from the wall. So not like fallen down, but blown out from the room beyond. So we're a little bit concerned and assume that maybe there's a thunderwave spell from the inside. And we clear the rubble, and there's some cracks in the door. And so we peek through, and we don't hear anything except dripping, weird dripping. And we can smell brine like the sea, which is really weird in the middle of, Gauntlgrim. And Cracker tries the door, and it doesn't seem to be locked, just can't open it. And busts it open, and there's lots of old warped equipment, rusted axes, metal grappling hooks. Everything's kind of rusted out, but it smells like the sea. And there's armor that might have been made for a dwarf. Everything's really in bad shape. And there's some humanoid bones lying around. We're not sure. But they're cut up and sorted. It's a bit creepy. And there's a fire up to the left and some heat. And we come around the corner and we see that there's an image of an altar and some skeletons, humanoids, huddled around this fire. And there's a breeze from where we are. And there's an alcove that's part of the chimney where there's ladles and tripods and cooking stuff. And the chimney just goes up and away, and it's a huge fireplace, which at first I didn't quite get, but now I get it. I looked up pictures. And you could like walk right into it, kind of fireplace. And we call Barrow over to tell us what this is. And Charlotte thinks it's a kitchen with some ever-burning fire, some sort of petrol fuel. And Barrow told us to come here. It's where his friend was going. So that's, I guess, so we're kind of looking for any sign of his friend. And Delin just walks on over and knocks some skulls over, and they become 2 flaming skulls, which KOs Charlotte with the second fireball. And she's down, and Byleth tries hitting it with some electricity and backs up some more. And Zenise got missed, just like totally ducking and covering, and tries to mind whip one. And Delin turns into a saber-toothed tiger. They look like balls, so it should be fun. And tries to get Ashley to bring Charlotte back, but she is down hard and turns one into a flaming sphere. And then there's all kinds of other stuff. And Byleth obliterates the last one with an amazing strike of thunder. And Delin looks for the pod for Charlotte, which was super awesomely clever. And we find the pod in her ashes, and Delin presses the button. Magic flies everywhere, and in an instant, Charlotte wakes up in perfection, in her best shape ever. And everything is restored. I was going to ask if maybe even her slippers were restored, but I don't know for sure. The pod disintegrates, and Ashley cures wounds on Delin, and Burrow confirms that these skulls, they weren't his friend. So he was a bit of a hothead, he said, but not that much. That was quite funny. Cracker and Delin go and check out the fireplace, and there's some air coming down through the flue. It's not totally closed, but it's dampened down, and we try everything to open it. But there's something maybe lying on top of it. It's kind of jammed, and there's no switch or anything. So we figure it's probably magic, and Byleth goes in and dispels magic on the flue, and a little bit of magic waves, blue glow disappears, and we hear the door shift a bit, and Cracker's hammer pushes up, and a body falls down, and it turns out to be Burrow's friend, and he must have tried to get out. Maybe he closed this with magic to stop people from coming after him, but he couldn't get out. He had some basic skills, but nothing too major. So he wasn't powerful. He just sort of sometimes locks doors, and that's how it worked out for him, and that's a shame. The end.
Oh, very good. Well done. Yes, that's right. Poor Axe.
We need to loot him.
Oh,
in
yeah.
front, in front of his friend Burrow.
Look
You
away, look away.
You gonna try to pull out gold teeth or something? Or...
I don't know. Maybe he has some
Uh-oh.
things.
Yes. Now, also, you can look up the chimney, and you can see that not only does it look pretty intimidating, although to be fair, this is not a vertical climb. This is it's a very steep angle. It's about 45 degrees, but it is climbable by all of you. Although it may not be large enough for Rick to fit, even if he could climb in his ball, which, so far as you know, there's no obvious way for his ball to do that. There's also some light or heat or fire up ahead. You can't quite see it. The shaft itself is warm, consistent with the ever-burning flame in the fireplace itself, but it could also be that there's heat emanating from further up the shaft. The Burrow has described this as quite possibly the exit that King Bruenor needs in order to get the rest of his surviving men-at-arms out after the escape of Megara and the fire giant created a bit of a new path of lava and magma that has cut them off from the main pathway back to Gauntlgrim proper out of the Great Forge. So, unless you can find another way out of this particular area, this seems like the way to go. But whatever you guys want to do. You also notice that you have noticed also that the two flame skull piles are still smoldering, and they did radiate magic when someone had when Charlotte had cast detect magic using her excellent Order of the Scribe ability to do it instantly.
Should we try and go up the chimney?
Can you turn to a spider or something like that and check it? It would be easier, probably.
Sure, I can do that.
Sorry. Don't want to do this. But I thought maybe I could reduce the mithril ball.
Oh, yeah. Is there a limit on the size of the starting
It's like
size?
just 1 minute though.
Oh, yeah. And then it gets just stuck there,
Yay!
or it rolls backward, crushing everybody behind it.
Oh god.
Well, the ultimate problem is not just getting it smaller, but also carrying it up there, right?
Yeah.
There's no climbing capability of the ball that you're aware
I have crampons.
of.
Yay!
I'm not sure how feminine hygiene products would help in a situation like this. That's still one of the best all-time snarky, passive-aggressive responses everywhere. Do you know what crampons are? Yeah, I know what tampons are. In her feminine but slightly stern voice.
I am aware.
I'm familiar with tampons. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I am going to turn into a rat because it has dark vision.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm going to start to climb up the chimney.
Okay. Does a rat in D&D have a climbing ability? I know mice and rats do climbing. I'm not sure that they always reflect upon.
I don't know. Can check.
I guess
think
as
so.
the DM, I should know that. Let me just take a look.
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah. They don't give cats dark vision either, which I find strange.
Yeah.
Spiders have. I don't know if they have dark vision though. Yeah.
Let me just pull it up. I've got. There we go.
Rat doesn't have climb.
No climb. But you're right, it does have dark vision. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to turn into a rat, and you're
Yeah.
going to start climbing.
And before
Yeah.
that, I connect with her.
Okay,
so we can speak.
right. I mean, technically, you can connect with her, and she can connect with somebody else.
Yeah.
So you can get a little daisy chain in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, but I only have 60 feet though. So, but I can connect with Cracker. Closest.
It's gonna be like the telephone game.
Yep. And then I'm going to start skittling up.
You find a giant flagon of beer. Oh,
Oh.
a dragon made of beer?
Let's make friends with it.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me give you a, probably not that one. Okay.
Cute.
So I'm going to put you over here. Can you all see the little tunnel with Delin in the middle?
Yep.
Okay. So you're basically climbing. Go ahead and
Mhm.
give us a strength athletics check
Oh,
as a rat. I will say
as
that
a rat.
because I find it's a bit ridiculous that you can't climb, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay. Um,
Plus, it's
I,
45 degrees. It's not impossible anyway.
let's see. I just need
F-
to find.
You forgot to cast guidance before you change into a rat.
I know.
That's okay.
Let's see. -4 to strength. That's great.
Okay.
Oh, a 10 then.
Well, yeah, okay. So it's not a problem. You shimmy up the sides. You find, despite the appearance of a fairly smooth cylinder, it's actually fairly irregular. There are lots of chips and cracks, and it's a chimney flue. They constructed it to be sturdy, not necessarily to have the greatest aesthetic consistency. Uh, and what are the rest of you guys doing while she's climbing? Just standing there watching, picking noses.
Um, you said the skulls were glowing with magic?
Yes. So the original Detect Magic, I think, by Charlotte, which revealed that the doors to the flue were locked by an arcane lock, which you dispelled, also set off around the area of the flame skulls, the ones that you destroyed that are laying on the ground.
Hmm. Could I don't know, maybe that's unnecessary, but could I investigate them to see if, I don't know, I find something cool?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it looks to you, since you don't even have the detect magic spell up yourself, it looks to
Mm.
you like just bits and pieces of crushed skull, but they are still smoldering. There's like a
Mm.
little bit, like a little bit of flame sort of pops up every once in a while. There's a very tiny wisp of smoke that's almost indiscernible, but it's you can feel the heat is still coming off of them.
All right. So, should I roll investigation? Or is that
Sure,
okay?
itching to roll.
I want to roll.
Can I roll something? Anything?
23.
Uh, yeah. You suspect between the detect magic spell that Charlotte cast earlier and your own investigation, which is pretty thorough. You think that there may be some residual magic left in this thing, and it's not completely inert.
Ugh.
And clearly, it's a form of undead.
Mm. Mm. Okay. I'm still a bit scared of them.
And you should be. Charlotte was like, I get killed every week.
Yeah. I'm so happy she's back too. Mm.
But this was different for you, Charlotte. I mean, you were really crispified.
Yeah, I'm rethinking my decision to join these adventurers. It's too late now.
Well,
I'm
maybe you
in
can
too
find
deep.
some. Maybe you can find some way to turn into a tiefling, and we can make this all a fire-resistant party.
Yay.
Or maybe get a blood transfusion.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, transfusion from the two tieflings, so you end up as like some sort of bizarre skin color in between the dark red, maroon, purple, and the teal.
What would
Or,
that
may-
even
or
make?
I don't know, or maybe you get like stripes,
Mm.
like like a
Oh my god.
like some sort of weird bull gum.
Our child.
They call me Tiger.
Yeah. Violet's got like a swept back horns, and Ethan's got like a forward standing up protruding horn. So like you've got one walkie, one pointing backwards, one walking, one pointing forwards. Um, okay. Does Charlotte want to do anything? I mean, if she's nervous about it, she doesn't seem to be stepping back, which
Hmm.
guess that's consistent with her naivete and sense of immortality.
Maybe I'll like walk up and
Get closer.
just in case she falls through the chimney, I can like catch her.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Yeah. Right. So you're readying your action to catch Delin in case she slips and falls. Excellent.
Mm.
Um, okay. And does Zanice want to do anything?
I'm just waiting for the loon to go up.
Okay. It was a good idea. Good suggestion. Cracker?
Anybody tell me that there's a little bit of life left in that thing?
Yeah, I tell you.
Okay, so I walk up to it and I smash the hell out of it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I want that thing in many, many gross pieces.
Right. Do you say anything when you're doing that?
It's still alive? What the hell? And I quickly fly into a rage because I remember it took out Charlotte, and I might not be the quickest thinker, but I'm thinking I don't want that to happen again.
Mm.
And I smash it with my great axe, rather recklessly, I might add.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage, and I'll give you advantage on both of the attacks.
Okay.
You don't even
Hold
need
on.
reckless, but you can.
All right. No reckless. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, they were already destroyed, partly because, with your axe, you had, even though it's mostly slashing damage, you also had bludgeoning indirectly as a result of the sheer mass of it. And you just pummeled them further. Some of it's actually powdered now. It doesn't stop or change the fact that whatever remains still smolders and uh, it appears, even though it's bones, sections of it that you can see, whether it's individual teeth or parts of the nose bridge, they're still smoldering and simmering. Um, like the dying embers of a log fire.
Okay. That feels better. Check it again.
Yes.
You're- I mean, the Charlotte, unless Charlotte has decided to drop the detect magic, I don't know that it has stopped yet. It hasn't been that long, but it's still glowing for Charlotte.
Still glowing.
All right. Okay, maybe the hammer will work better. Should I keep smashing this stuff?
Yeah, if you want to.
You want
I
it
mean,
powdered? Okay, it's getting powdered. Okay,
okay.
wait, I didn't put advantage on that one. I'm still going, but I'm using the Warhammer now. For a
Okay.
little added. Sorry, one more roll. Okay, so 16, 24.
Yeah, you're grinding down the teeth now, and little bits of tiny enamel flying everywhere. It's like half price night at the Oyster Shack. Uh, you know, you know, just little bits of pearl getting stuck in your hair. It's just it's a terrifying sight watching Cracker going at this with a hammer, smashing it up. And it's definitely much finer. And there are still chunks visible, but for the most part, she's basically got the skull down to, a very coarse uh, and loose, almost gravel type size and consistency. But you don't have enough. You don't really get any additional magical or arcane information from the detect magic spell to suspect that anything necessarily has changed other than the physical description of the remaining skull components.
Well, I don't even know what those words are that you just said. So I'm just thinking it's still smoking or glowing. I'm like, I think that's probably done.
Okay.
And at that moment, I'm going to drink a healing potion
Okay.
because I don't know what's coming up next. So I'm drinking a medium healing potion.
Okay.
What do I roll for that?
Uh, it's just a standard healing potion.
Yeah, a medium healing potion.
What is a medium healing potion?
I don't know. I have it written in my thing. Might just be. Oh, sorry. I just potion of healing. Standard potion of healing.
Okay.
I have to stop listing these all over the place.
I'm going to put this over there so you guys can all stay in the same spot. We don't have to move. So this is where Dylan is now. You guys are all here. Okay. Okay, so Dylan, you are climbing. What's your passive perception?
Is right? Or do
Yeah,
I keep mine?
yeah, I think it's just the 3 physical ones that change. The other ones are
My passive is 17.
okay. As you're climbing successfully, you hear what sounds a bit like a skittering sound, and then followed by a chittering sound
Uh, I'm
up
gonna
ahead of
say it to Cracker. And can I reply to Sinise as well in the same moment? Since
Mm,
since she has a connection with me, or can I only reply if she has said something to me?
I don't know. Let's have both of you post your telepathic capabilities and double check.
Sure.
That's a good question.
See,
I don't know off the top of my head.
did that go through? Yeah.
You have to use your action to give that creature the ability to speak. Okay, so it doesn't say that you have to use your action to speak. And then, let's see. Okay. I mean, it doesn't say that you can't do both of them at the same time. So I'll go ahead and say, sure, you send the message to Cracker, but you're sending it to everybody who could receive.
Mm-hmm.
And Zanice will be caught up in that net as well.
And I'm just gonna say I'm hearing skittering and chirping.
Chittering.
Be aware. Chittering. Be aware. And I am going to sneak further. Try and sneak as a rat.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and let's have a stealth roll.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna check. I think mine is the same stealth. Yeah. No, it's not. I have +1. The rat has +0. 13.
Okay, so as you are sneaking, somewhat successfully, uh, you see what appears to be some sort of a purplish rod sticking out of the wall in the cylinder of the shaft.
Does it look like the rod that? What was her name again? The monk. Jesus.
Monk.
Yeah, our warlock or wizard monk. Was she a monk?
Wait, who?
Oh
Who?
God, I can't remember her name. Jesus. Does it look like a immovable rod?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. It just looks like it doesn't look metallic, although you can't fully see it in detail. You don't know if it's a painted piece of wood or it could be metal and painted, but it doesn't look like it's not shiny like metal initially. Uh, whereas the immovable rod, I think, was actually metallic.
Okay.
This is not. It doesn't look fully uniform. So one of the things that the immovable rod it was a very uniform. I mean, it wasn't uniform when fully extended because it has a telescoping feature, but the cylinder that the immovable rod looks like when it's compacted is incredibly uniform, right? It is clearly a steel or metal tube. This is not that case. This is slightly irregular, but it looks, broadly speaking, like a staff or rod or stick or some sort of elongated object.
And it's embedded in the wall or just laying in the shaft?
Well, from your angle, you can't see how it intersects the wall. It's just sticking out.
Okay.
You can't really tell if there's something. It could be that there's a hole in the wall or a creche or a cubby. It could be that it's actually stuck in the wall in between stones. But your vision in the dark is 60 feet. So from 60 feet, as a small creature, or as a small creature, you're looking at the surface basically. You don't have enough height advantage to see how it is protruding.
Right. I see a stick. I'm moving closer, and I'm going to skittle a little bit closer.
Purple stick sighted, closing
Yep.
in on target.
Yep.
Are you calling for backup for the stick?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to do anything now that you're armed with this information? Is anybody else doing anything?
She found the stick. I just tell everybody.
Okay.
I think she making
I don't know.
progress.
She's a rat. Could be a toothpick.
What was that, Daria? What'd you say at the end?
I'm just saying. She found the stick. We're making progress.
We're making
think.
progress. Okay. Does Charlotte, hearing that she's found a stick, go scurrying for cover?
No, not quite.
Well, maybe she should. And this thing pops out and immediately starts to shoot something out at Delin in rat form.
Not a stick, not a stick, not a stick.
All right, let's have some turn order.
Right.
Hang on. Don't roll yet. Don't roll yet. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Can I roll now?
Yes, you can roll now. Sorry. Yeah, everybody go ahead and roll. Okay, and Henrietta, since you're there, why don't you roll for our purple stick friend?
And
Nice and average. Okay. We'll call this just to put it in the middle of everybody. So Cracker gets to go first. Now, just to warn you guys in advance, I know I'm not always very strict about cover and things, but given the angle, although Dylan is a small creature, the range, the angle, it's very difficult to shoot this thing without potentially hitting Dylan. So it's going to get a little bit of cover if you try to shoot it.
Is there enough space in there for me to even swing my axe?
Yes. So the size of this, as portrayed on the map, is actually the right size. So this is a 15-foot wide shaft. If you could get up there, it's 45 degrees. I
So
mean,
you
45 degrees is pretty steep to stand on.
yeah. Well, can I still be considered raging because I've just been smashing skulls in a rage?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm running in there still raging, and I'm gonna do an athletics check. See if
You
I
would
can get
have
up
to,
there.
you'll have to climb,
Okay.
which means you can only attack with a one-handed weapon.
Okay, then I will switch to my. Hold on, I'm thinking. I'll switch to my longsword.
Okay. So,
And
yeah, so let's have an athletics roll first to see if you can get up there without falling backwards.
okay, how's that?
And then
11.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay,
You're raging.
and I'm
Don't you have
raging.
advantage on
Oh, yeah.
On athletics checks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
every strength based, I think.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
She's
it's plus
Henry's
2.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
No. So the is it +2? So if you post your rage,
Strength checks.
yeah. So you have advantage on, and this is what Henrietta's saying.
Yep. All right. And how far up is she already?
Let's have the athletics roll first.
Oh, I
You
already did.
you have technically passed it, but one of the things I think I've mentioned before, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not always obvious. But depending on how well or how badly you roll, like you might fail a check or a saving throw. But if you but especially a check, because saving throws technically are more mechanical. But if you fail a check or you pass a check, you do it by a much greater margin, like plus minus 5. The outcome might be different than if you just marginally passed or failed.
Okay. So re-roll athletics.
Yeah, because you've got advantage.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so the difference
17.
isn't that much. Yeah. So why do you get +2?
Advantage on strength checks. Athletics is strength.
So the advantage means that you roll twice, but I don't think you
Oh,
get a
okay.
+2 on. I
Sorry.
don't think you get another bonus of +2 on top of that.
No, hello. I'm not playing Pathfinder. I'm playing 5e. Stop thinking in terms of points. Yes, I'm okay now. I'm okay.
It's okay.
I'm
It's all right.
okay.
It's all right.
All right.
Shh.
Hush now.
Okay. So you climb up there.
Sorry. I climb up there, and I was asking how far up is she? Like, how far up is the creature? Just make sure I have
Well,
enough.
yeah. So Delenn's as a rat, your movement was 30 feet, right?
20 feet.
Right. So
That's good.
she would have been climbing as well. So you would be able to catch up to her in one turn.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then I'm definitely taking a slash with my longsword,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna take another one too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Both of the strikes hit, and you see little bits of purplish green slime or ichor comes spurting out of the 2 wounds that you create with your longsword.
All
Well
right.
done. Okay. This is Anise.
I'm coming closer and shoot magic missile.
Okay.
Not a stick. Pew, pew, pew.
All right. So how much was that altogether? 12. Sorry.
12 damage.
Excellent. Delin,
Yeah.
the deadly mouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Are you technically a giant rat?
no.
You're
I was
actually
mouse.
you're actually a mouse.
Or
Mouse
a rat,
mouse?
yeah.
Or you're
I
actually a
didn't
rat.
think about that. I don't think I've ever seen a giant rat.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't think so.
Basically like rats, except a little bigger.
Yeah. But I can't turn into them unless I've seen them.
Okay.
Uh,
So as a regular sized rat, I'm gonna say you have 1 hit point of 1 hit point, and you
Yep.
do 1 hit point,
Yep.
Wow.
which is
Yeah.
probably a lot for a rat, actually. But yeah.
I am going to. This is my last wild shape as well. I know he's ugly.
He's not ugly. He's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
What he
Uh,
needs is a fancy apron and shopping bag.
Right?
yeah.
The right accessories make all the difference.
I agree.
Well, it looks like
I
Cracker has
got the
this.
Sophie seal of approval.
Yeah. It looks like Cracker has these handles. I'm going to disengage and I'm going to skittle away.
Okay. Uh, when you say, do you mean further back towards the party, or?
No, I'm going to try and go. Do I see any more sticks? When I glance
Uh,
around.
that you could check, but that would be an action because you're looking very
Okay.
carefully for it. So it's up to you if you want
Uh,
to do that.
no, I'm going to go 10 feet towards the party.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You disengage successfully. It stares at you with its cold, beady black eyes.
Bye.
All right. Who's up? Oh, it is. Okay. um, it decides that this meal is probably not worth it. It turns tail and also effectively disengages from Cracker, the furious crustacean killer, uh, and disappears into what you can now see, Cracker, as a large hole in the stone masonry of the chimney.
Kitty cat.
Well, do you think everything's going to just fight to the death? I mean, it's
Yes, for honor.
for honor.
The sacrifice.
It's an animal, basically. I mean, why would it doesn't even know what honor means.
Is it a
Yeah.
beast?
It's not a beast.
Ah.
Looking forward to a crab dinner.
With enough butter, anything's edible. I mean, it's Charlotte's turn, so what would you like to do, Charlotte?
Oh, well, I mean, it's gone, so, I don't know. I'll catch Dylan. I'll be like, hey, jump.
And she wild shapes into a saber-toothed tiger.
If
And
only I
leaps.
could.
No, I don't know. I pass.
You pass?
Well, there's nothing. There's no enemies. Should I shoot Dylan?
Pass? What are we playing? Texas Hold'em poker or what? Okay. Byleth.
That's good. Okay. So I would fit in there, right? We all would.
It's 15 feet in diameter, so 3 medium-sized
Feet.
creatures could
Yeah.
fit in there. But it's definitely harder to climb if you're not in the center. Because it is sloping 45 degrees, if you're in the center, it's a normal climb for most of you.
Okay.
Unless you have some special abilities and you're trying to climb abreast of somebody else in the middle. So let's say Cracker's in the middle, because probably she is. If somebody's trying to climb on either side, it'll be harder, right? Because it's angled.
Mhm. Okay. I think I'm gonna go here, if that's all right to move.
Sure.
over there. Yeah. Okay. And okay. Um, I'm so late in turn order. It's kind of annoying, but because
You're so what?
so late in the turn order, so
Oh,
I missed
right.
the whole fight. I was just like standing there. But because Dylan also wanted to see a giant rat, I think if it's possible, I would like to throw the figurine of Wondrous Power inside the thing next to Cracker, so that
Oh.
the giant rat will appear. To have a friend. I feel so bad.
You're gonna use the figurine of Wondrous Power just to. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, to explore with Dylan and to show her, so that maybe she can
Okay,
learn that for things.
okay.
I haven't
So
used it yet.
yeah, you haven't. To be honest, I wasn't sure if anybody even remembered you guys had it. Well done. So you have to use the activation word.
Jeez.
So you all watch as Byleth. Where do you store this thing?
My pocket?
Okay. So you all watch as she rummages around in her backpack, pulls out this little figurine, little statuette. That's about the size of Violet's palm. It's carved out of what appears to be ivory or bone, some sort of a white material, and she tosses it up the shaft. And she shouts the word cheese. You see a little dazzling puff of sparkles, and suddenly this thing lands, and you watch especially those of you who didn't even know what this was or that it existed, as it turns from a statue, an inert statue, into a living, breathing, whiskery, shivering rodent with a very long tail, about 8 times the size of Delin's current form.
Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do? I mean, that was your action, but
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just gonna
how
stay here
far
for
up
now.
did you throw? You could have thrown it close to where the creature went into the hole or disappeared, I should say.
Next to Cracker?
Okay. We'll say it goes on your turn.
All right. I mean, it just obeys my commands. So, jeez.
Okay, Cracker, you are up there. There is another rat next to you, which, unless Violet explained what she was doing, you had no idea was going to be there a moment ago.
Delin, I can't hear your thoughts. You look a bit bigger, but I can't tell what's going on here, you mess. Help me out here. I don't know what's happening. That's all I can really do. That's my turn. I think I'm talking to Delin,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm waiting for her to tell me what to do next.
Right. Well, it just sort of looks at you and then looks back at the hole expectantly.
Okay. I'm not gonna go after that thing. That's me. I'm just gonna hold my sword ready, just in case.
Okay.
But not for
Well,
cheesy McWhiskers. Cheesy. I can't even say that.
All right. Does Denise want to do anything?
Cheese? Where is cheese? Give me some.
That's right. Denise has never seen cheese.
Give me some cheese, Byleth. I want it too.
Yeah, with your fire-based abilities, you could turn anything into a raclette, or just a
True.
raclette. Mm.
Hmm.
Okay, Dadlin.
Hmm. I am going to climb up on the giant rat's back, and I'm going to squeak out in mouse or rat speech, "Charge!" Just hold on for their
That's
life.
great.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing ever. Jesus. General Delin leading the
Yep.
rodent army, the rodent rebellion.
Yep.
I love it. Okay. Uh, all of you, but especially the exceptionally gifted rodents, can hear the sounds of skittering, chittering, and then you hear what sounds like dwarven. And Zanice can understand it as, "Oh, did somebody hurt you, my pet? Oh, what happened? Tell daddy." And then you hear the sound of slobbery kisses.
Oh.
Charlotte, I'll let you have a bonus action vomiting effect, retching.
Um,
You've definitely done that before.
well, um, was that dwarven? What did he say?
That was
Yeah.
his pet. The
Nice.
stick not so sticky. Pet, yeah. Gross, I know.
Right up there with children. Very good. Charlotte, do you want to try to climb up the chimney?
Mm, well, I'll wait to see if anyone else goes up. Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay,
I'll move across in case anyone wants to get by and
okay.
climb.
Excellent. Lilith.
Yes. Okay. I think I will tell Cheese to carefully step forward, just as Dylan wants him to. And I'm confused. Is that my action to command them?
I think it said that, right?
Just if you use an action to speak the command word and obey your spoken commands, if you should know commands.
Right. So I guess they're assuming that giving commands doesn't take an action. So I'll say that it goes under the general, you can say 1 or 2 words and still have a full action. But if you want to give it
Okay.
something complex, like go left, turn right, unlock the door, and then steal the bar of gold, that'll be an action.
Okay. So
But something like attack, that's fine.
So I'll also just say, walk forward carefully, and then I also want to try to climb up the chimney. If there's space.
Okay.
Is it athletics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hopefully.
All right.
14.
Yeah. You shimmy on up next to. So are you trying to pass Cracker or?
No, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, no.
All right. So if you're not trying to pass
Up there.
Cracker, then you're behind her, and that's fine. If you were trying to pass her, then you would have a little bit more difficulty trying to get past her. That you can climb past her on the way up, but if you want to stop next to her and stand on the edge, the sloping edge, that'll be harder. Okay. Did you give a command? Sorry, what did you say to Cheese? I forgot.
Go forward carefully.
With the intention of Cheesy going into the hole, or
Just further into the chimney, I guess.
okay.
I mean, Dylan said charge, so
Well, Dylan
I
is
cannot disobey her.
riding on top. Dylan is riding atop Cheesy
Yeah.
McWhisters. Yep. And it goes up to the edge of the hole, and it stops there, and it peers over the edge, and squeaks a response, which none of you understand except for Dylan. And to Dylan, it sounds like, I see a passageway. It is very windy, and there seems to be something glowing and shiny and reflecting light further down, which is incredibly erudite for a giant rat, but there you go.
Ooh, shinies.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hopefully not clank my way up behind you. So I'm gonna stealthily follow them. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm going to clank my way up behind you. Readjusting apparently all of my clanky weapons as I go. And I'm readying my sword to attack anybody who attacks us.
I thought you were saying readjusting as in like your bra, and I was just like, why would you need to readjust your
Bad
no,
bra.
never mind.
Bad bra. Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, you readjust your clanky weapons, you get to the edge of the lip. It's obviously a hole that has been created from several of these stones being pushed out and collapsed. And as a result, you can see that the tunnel that's visible is just carved out of the earth. It's not a prepared tunnel like an offshoot. Further down the tunnel, there is what appears to be a light source, and there are some shiny elements that you can see on the edge of your vision. It's not clear if it's water or something else, but it's definitely reflective. It doesn't seem to be steel. Sorry, Denise.
I'm gonna shout in Dwarvish using thaumaturgy to make my voice louder. Help! King Brunor is stuck. He sent us to send a message, throw some rope, and we can explain everything to you.
Excellent. Well, whether or not it makes sense or it works, this is a very clever use of your thaumaturgy and diplomatic skills. So well done. Um, uh, he responds, dwarfs? Oh, oh, it's been so long. And a moment later, you see a head peek out. He looks like he's hard to tell, but for a dwarf, quite old. Maybe in his nearing his third century. And he also looks like he's been down here for a while. Tattered clothes, the uh, the obviously unkempt appearance of somebody who hasn't been focused on presentation for quite some time. And a moment later, a little rope comes flying out and lands in front of the feet of Dullin and Cheesy McWhiskers, and then unfurls further and goes all the way down the shaft to Cracker and Byleth. But it doesn't extend all the way down to the fire. Dylan.
I am going to jump off Cheesy, and I'm going to scare the shit out of this dwarf and turn back into myself. Right in front of me. And just smile and wave.
And he takes this rag that's hanging off the side of his of a belt that looks like it's been worn consistently for about the last 100 years. The leather's all worn out, and the color is obviously off because the tanning process has been reversed through decades of wear. And he just starts beating you with it. It doesn't actually hurt, but it's not quite a rat's tail, but it's somewhere between that and shooing a fly away. Get away! Get away! He shouts in Dwarvish.
Sorry. Just gonna back up a couple of steps
Okay.
to not be threatening.
Further back, you hear the sounds of chittering again, and you see Purple Stick peeking out from behind what appears to be a. Now that you can see a little bit further down, well, you can't see very well, but there appears to be a whole bunch of forms that are about dwarven sized. In the darkness, you can't tell what it is, but a little Purple Stick is sort of peeking out from behind one of them. Charlotte?
What's going on up there?
Does somebody want to answer her?
There's a dwarf.
You need us to come up?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's have an athletics roll. You can get to roll something.
Yay. My worst one. Yeah.
Yeah. You now are you trying to pass anybody, or are you just staying in the back behind Cracker and Violet?
I'll just stay in the back behind them so they can lock anything.
Okay. So basically sorry, what was that?
No, go ahead. I was just going, wee.
Oh, right. Do you climb up and then slide back down and then climb back up again?
That would be fun, but no, it wouldn't be appropriate.
What's appropriate these days? Okay. And then excellent. So that now we'll do Byleth and then Cheesy, and we'll take a break.
Okay. I can't understand him, so
No.
I don't know.
Although you can sort of infer
Yeah.
from what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
You didn't even see, like, once he jumped back because the Lin changed form, you didn't even see him anymore. You just saw his hand stick out of the hole with this dirty rag on the end of it, just like slapping at Lin, which,
Okay.
kind of looks a bit violent. So maybe he needs to be killed.
No.
Fireball him. You'll get everybody.
Perfect choice. Um. Okay. I think I'm just gonna squeeze past Cracker. Phew, I don't know. It's really cramped in here. And really confused. But maybe he speaks Infernal, so I'm just gonna be like, Bam, and do a thumbs up.
And for those of us who weren't keeping track, what does that mean again in Infernal?
Hello.
This has been one of the greatest ideas ever. Well done, Daria. Well done, Laura. There is no discernible response because, from his point of view, he doesn't even know that you're speaking. It could just be. You hear Daria, Zanice hears something in response, something like, I don't want to hear any spell casting. And Cheesy just chitters nervously in the background. And let's take a 7-minute break.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
We're all back, it sounds like. Looks like. Okay, so as you are, so you guys are you're just over the lip. All of you are just on the 45-degree angle, just over the lip of the the cave that sort of extends out from the tunnel that extends out from the side of the chimney shaft. Henrietta can see down it. Some of the rest of you are just close enough to maybe peer over it if you wanted to sort of sneak a peek, but you haven't done so yet. Cracker is, I guess, technically Cracker is next, right? Because she's, or did Violet sneak ahead? I can't remember.
I think Byla snuck ahead.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what does Cracker want to do then?
Oh no, wait, Cheesy McWhiskers snuck ahead. And Dylan's on Cheesy McWhiskers.
Not anymore.
And
She's a
not
full-size
anymore, and
person
she's
now.
the full-size person beside Cheesy McWhiskers. Dude hit her with a stick or rope or something.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna calmly step out holding my sword and just stand there. Because obviously I can see that she's not like bleeding or anything.
Mm.
And it seems like kind of a flailing, pathetic attempt at an attack. So I'm just gonna make it pretty clear that any further attacks will be followed up on by me.
How do you make that clear exactly?
Well, I flex a little, and I hold my sword and I say, hey, go easy. There you go. That's me.
And you hear the dwarven word for orc, and it's not
Orc.
nicely intoned.
Right? I don't know what he said.
I'd say as a half orc who's served a bunch of patrons, you probably know when somebody's calling you orc.
Right, I just take a step forward. Say that again a little nicer.
Roll initiative. All right. Zanice at the bottom of the well next to Charlotte, Ashley, and Rick and Burrow.
I scream again. Easy, we are sent by dwarves. In Dwarvish, of course. And I say to Rick, get out of the bowl and up the chimney, now.
Oh, all right. No need to be rude about it. And he starts clambering his way up to the top. Do you want to roll for Rick? See if he can hang on with his plate mail.
Of course.
You're going to have a little disadvantage there.
Yes.
Oh,
4.
he slips, and for a moment it looks like he's going to land butt first on top of Charlotte's head, but he manages to catch himself at the last moment. Okay, very good. He doesn't have enough movement to get all the way to the top. In the meantime, Delin, who now has the giant rat form available to her,
Mm-hmm.
What does she
Nice.
want to do?
I think I'm just gonna wait for Rick the Roller and Denise to get up and talk to this
Hmm.
dwarf.
Okay.
I think that's better and than me invading his mind.
Oh, yeah. Who knows how that's going to go?
Yep. I'm just gonna stand there with my hands up and not be threatening.
Okay. Uh, he's looking at all of you. He's got his one hand held out in front of him with that dangly piece of dirty rag at the end of it, like he's using it threateningly to keep you back. It's as someone said a moment ago, it was pathetic looking, but we don't want to repeat that too loud. It's a bit rude, right? Cracker. Mm, maybe he doesn't have. Maybe his gym membership expired. He doesn't get to work out as often as he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's been in lockdown for a while. Charlotte.
I will. I guess I'll just use prestidigitation. And make a cute little drawing of us holding hands with the dwarf guy.
Oh my God.
Maybe that'll convince him that we're friends.
Oh my God, the anime vibes off of you, Sophie. It's unbelievable. You are the embodiment of Sailor Moon. Jesus.
Thank you.
All right. And obviously the purpose is to try to diffuse the situation. What would you like to use as a role in terms of achieving your outcome?
Would make the most sense, but also be beneficial.
Exactly. Maybe it doesn't even make a lot of sense, but if it's funny enough, I might allow it.
Maybe sleight of hand because I'm so good with like my hands. I can draw better.
Uh, okay, all right. For this one, sure, I'll let you do
Yay!
it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So you can't see him, but you can certainly project it in a place where he potentially could see it. And although you don't see him, you just sort of see like the hand holding the rag quiver briefly, the rag at the very edge of the rag, being the longest point of extension, shakes almost violently and then sort of lowers and drops down. And then you just hear. And then the rag completely disappears, and then you hear honk.
Nice.
What does that mean?
I think it means he blew his nose in the dirty rag.
Oh.
All right, very good. Well done, Charlotte. Sophie. Violet, rather.
Yes. Okay. I'm also waiting for Victor Roller to
Get
do
up
his
to the
thing.
front. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm stepping behind my rat and maybe in front of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go in front of it, so that I can see him better. And
Okay. So
could I
at this
do?
point, you would need to actually get around the hole.
Well, could I stand beside Cheese?
He's a small creature, but
Yeah.
I don't think you can share the space with a small creature. You'd have to be tiny, or you'd have to be huge.
But isn't it?
Huge.
I don't know. I mean, Rick the Roll can also stand on the right side, so can I just stand on the left side?
Oh yeah, in that case, yeah, you can.
Okay.
But then you'll have to
So
roll for it
for what?
because you're standing at a weird angle.
What about here?
Okay. If you're in the center line, you don't have to do anything extra. If you're moving around
Okay,
either
okay.
side, right?
That sounds good.
It's angled. If I don't know if you guys have ever tried to climb something like that. It's
Mm,
quite tricky, actually.
every
Oh,
day.
oh, really?
No.
From the
um,
depths of your dank dungeon apartment
yeah, actually, the new flat I got, I have to climb this like 50 meters like every day.
to get out?
to get in.
50 meters to get from the street? You have to climb 50 meters?
No,
50
it's a joke.
meters.
It would be funny though. It would be just like a slide, just up.
I don't know. I've seen some flats in London that look like that. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so can I still see him like pretty well, or just
You,
snowflake?
the only person who can see him really clearly is Delin in the front.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're next to Cheesy McWhiskers and you can hold on, then yes, you can see him clearly. But you'd have to
Hmm.
be in the front row.
Okay. Could I then just not care about Victorola and just stay where I was before?
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. I would like to do a perception check to see
Mm,
how, what's his deal and how long could he have been down here already?
yeah. Go ahead.
All right. 8.
Mm. So, sorry, one second. So you did meet Burrow uh,
Mm.
a while ago. It seems like it was only yesterday, but obviously it was more like a week. And Burrow looks in terrible shape. How much of that is because he's not really fully there, and the creature that's controlling him doesn't care quite as much about Burrow as Burrow presumably would if he were in charge of himself? That's not entirely clear. But Burrow's been there for a long, long time. This guy looks worse off, although his mannerisms suggest that he's not as poorly cared for. He looks like he's way out there. Now, how much of that is just you inferring it based on your experience with Burrow versus how much of you being accurate in terms of your perception? Hard to tell. But Byleth, who has a very strong hygiene regime and cares very much about, her appearance and her health, probably would think this is a very dirty, disgusting, unkempt creature.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna go here afterwards.
Okay. All right, Cracker. You could, if you wanted to, give Rick the roller a boost up.
Yeah,
Practically
that.
toss him in there.
Yeah, that was totally what I was gonna do. I'm gonna push him to the front and just stand behind him.
Okay. He's going to immediately try to start talking to this dwarf, and Zanice can overhear the entire conversation. But apparently, this fellow has been down here for so long he doesn't remember, and he is part of the group of slaves that had survived the Illithid Mind Flayer takeover, which means that he's been around for a long, long time. And he escaped, apparently with Axe. But Axe went back down to lock the chimney doors to stop anybody else chasing after them, and Axe never returned. I don't remember when I last saw another living being, other than, of course, Darling here. And he gestures behind himself, and you see that little purple chittering, not very little, purple chittering creature that nearly tried to eat Delin the rat. Well, if you're truly friends, I suppose I should invite you into my home. And he steps back, and then he sort of turns sideways and starts walking down the path back to presumably his lair, and turns back and gestures to each of you with a wave to follow him.
Sure, I'll follow.
Okay, so all of you are going to follow him, presumably. And you walk into a cavern that is beautiful. It looks like it might have been glass that actually has been carved out, if that makes sense. You have seen this kind of thing before elsewhere, but typically it's been volcanic glass, which is mostly black. This seems crystalline, but it is obviously glass and not crystal. And you see a number of dwarves or statues of dwarves. They're standing around. Obviously, they're not moving, but they look like they've been carved by a master mason or craftsman.
So the dwarves are made of glass, right?
You can do a check if you want.
Yep, I want to do that. What kind of check? Investigation or
Depends on how deep you want to get into it. Perception is just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with perception, I think. Let's see.
Okay.
15.
I mean, they appear to be statues of glass.
Right. Can you kind of see through them?
They're, for the most part, transparent. There are some occlusions, but unlike, say, crystals, which have a lot more occlusions and they're much more geometric, this looks like molten glass that was poured that just was a bit rough,
Okay.
or maybe sand that was melted.
So it's not dwarfs covered in glass. You can see through
I mean, to know for sure, you'd have to do investigation,
Yeah.
but they are transparent.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna kind of look around, not too much. I can't speak to him, so well I can, but I don't. Since he's been here for a long time, I don't think me probing his mind is the best solution.
Yeah, kid gloves. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
All right, Zanice, Queen of the Dwarves.
Do you know Burrow?
He looks at Burrow and shakes his head in the negative.
Okay. And Burrow, is he one of your friends or not?
Burrow says he doesn't know him either.
That's
But
good.
then Burrow says, there were many slaves here and much meat.
Gross. Okay.
And at the word meat, a little bit of drool comes out the corner of his mouth and he licks it away with his tongue. Anybody else want to do anything? I kind of went in and out of turn order, so I apologize.
I think I'd like to be way in the back, near
Okay.
the entrance. Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, keeping an eye on things. I'm alert.
Yeah, excellent. All right, you'll have advantage on any perception checks if you want to give one.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Because we walked
Good.
past some figures. Are these the figures we walked past that we could see in the shadows that the creature was hiding behind?
Yes.
Okay. 18.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it's as quiet as a tomb. Why did he use the word tomb?
No kidding. He's like a little too real to be statues.
Anybody else want to do anything? Byleth?
Just so confused.
I didn't even get to attack anything.
Yeah.
Well, you could go destroying a whole bunch of these statues if that makes you feel better.
Yes. No. Not now. Not yet. I'm just I don't know. Can I ask Dylan to ask him how long he has been down here? Or if he remembers?
did Rick kind of convey his conversation to us, or
I feel like Zanice is doing a running interpretation for all of you, but I
Okay.
don't know that your conversations with him have been interpreted. Yeah,
just-
so okay,
Yeah.
so he'll switch to common to keep it simple for everyone, including the DM and the poor players who are trying to maintain role play immersion, which the DM definitely appreciates. Well, I don't rightly remember. It feels like it's been a long time. My beard was very short, and now, well, look at it. I can practically tuck it into my belt. Yes, I think I was quite a young lad, but no, I don't remember. It all happened suddenly. For decades, I was, your typical scullion boy trying to stay away from the fires and helping out in the kitchen. And then we had that terrible moment when those creatures took over. And those of us who were deemed unworthy to be eaten were put to work. I was never the fastest one in the class, and I guess that helped me out. Some of the smarter kids, they ended up becoming dinner. Um, I did meet that other fellow as we were all trying to escape one day when it got even worse and all those horrible creatures, smelling of death, came up out of the ground and started to take over, led by those horrific black elves. But no, I don't know anything about what's happened in the last, I don't know now, it's been years. And I found a place to hide here. The fellow who came with me, he said he was going to go back and secure the doors, and I never heard from him again. Of course, I couldn't go down myself. I don't have any abilities at all. But over the years, I kept myself busy by carving these lovely statues. They remind me of some of the people I recall from my childhood, back when the doors were free. And some of them I talk to, and some of them, well, I don't know if they talk back exactly, but I swear I hear their voices occasionally. They're my
Very
friends.
naturalistic display. Very
Do you
pretty.
think so? It's been so
Mm.
long, I don't recall what they look like exactly. I'm not sure I got the details right. I think I did a decent enough job. Anyway, my eyes are failing, so it doesn't really matter. I can see, but I still need a lot of help. But luckily, I have Darling, and she helps me by pulling things in place, and she keeps me company. She's a sweet girl, really. I hope you didn't do too much harm to her. At this point, he nuzzles up next to Darling, and Darling sort of licks him with the sticky tongue that drags half his beard up into the air.
Cute.
It would be cute if it wasn't so disgusting.
So have you never tried to climb out?
Well, I don't really know where to go. I was told to climb in here to try to get away, but all the people who were in charge at the time, they didn't get up in here. The only one who managed to get up into the chimney itself was me and that other fella. And as I say, I never saw him again.
No, but you never tried to follow the chimney further?
Well, you have to understand, I'm not really used to exploring. Most of my life, I've been told not to go someplace I'm not meant to. I don't know why I would want to go any further. Is it safe up there?
Oh, we don't know. It might be
Well,
a way out.
if you don't know, then why the hell should I go up there? You
Uh,
look like you're much more capable than I am. You go ahead first and you let me know.
sure, we're going to try, but just thinking about being here, down here for so many years, it's hard to figure out why you haven't tried to get out.
Oh, you don't understand. This has been very nice. I mean, the first few years of my life were happy and free, of course. I think I even remember my mother's face, though not my father's so much. I think he was always working in the mines. But it wasn't long after that I became enslaved by those horrible squid creatures, and then after that, it's just been sort of running and hiding. So I have my hobbies. I can tinker, I can carve, I can create all the friends I need right here. And as I said, I've got Darling to keep me company. Darling's actually the third generation. Um, so, it's fine. And we have plenty to eat. Um, and
What
there's
do you eat?
water. Oh, there are these things that grow on the walls, and we snack on them. And I think there's a pool of water someplace that Darling can snag with her fishing line. She's very clever, you know. I can't get down there; it's far too slippery for me. But um, Darling can climb down, and she gets a fish for herself occasionally, and sometimes she shares it with me. And then I just lick the moisture off the walls. It condenses and pools a little bit, and I've got all I need.
Right. But there's no way out of this cabin. right here?
Oh, I don't know. It's possible. I never really explored beyond this cavern.
But
There
then
are
no tunnels inside here, or
some small ones. For the most part, I blocked them off just to make sure I had a safe place.
right?
Uh, and there is that one tunnel that Darling uses to go down to her fishing hole. Um, I mean, as far as I know, you can keep going up the chimney, but as I said, I went up there once. Uh, I nearly lost my footing, and I thought I was going to fall all the way back down to the bottom, and I decided it wasn't really worth the risk.
Right.
And well, you just told me that you don't know if it's safe out there either, so why would I go out there on my own? Plus, uh, I don't think Darling wants to leave, to be honest. I think she quite likes it here.
Sure she does. Right.
And Darling comes over, and two of her little antennae start to feel you out, touching your thigh, your arms,
Hello.
and then she sticks out her sticky tongue and tries to lick your knee.
What is she doing?
Uh, Darling, get down. Don't do that. And gives her a swat. And she sort of chitters in disobedience. Don't mind her. She isn't sure of your food yet, so you just have to give her a swat.
Okay. So anything else interesting in this cavern, or just glass figures?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I like shiny things.
And he says, well, they're all shiny.
Yeah, I can see that.
Uh,
Are there any glass pieces on the floor? Like larger glass pieces?
yeah, there are lots of so what apparently has happened is this cave has a lot of naturally occurring glass, and he's carved it up. And there are unfinished pieces, there are raw pieces, there are pieces that look like they might have been part of a statue and they failed, they broke. So there's like a half broken arm. There seems to be, a head and right shoulder and right arm. Um, there are a couple of metal implements that you assume he's been using. They didn't look like chisels and hammers to start with. They looked like other things, but he's used them so extensively now that they've taken on the shape of a chisel, a rough-hewn chisel and hammer.
Huh.
And there's a corner where he's got some piles of something you don't recognize and you can't see in detail until you get closer. But it looks like maybe that's where he's made his camp. There are a few little ceramic and pottery bits,
Ah,
and what appears like a very rough bed, possibly made out of some material you don't recognize initially.
Huh. I'm just gonna start slowly just wandering around and look at the different statues and just have a look around.
They are very beautifully worked. Some of them are very rough. Some of them are a bit more fine than others. But it's clear that he has some real skill, and you even see that he's managed to carve some features in a few of them, some faces. They wouldn't necessarily be museum quality, but they're certainly good enough that if you think, having seen real beauty in the Sealy court with, and Elven statuary is typically considered amongst the best in the world, despite the fact that they're not necessarily stonemasons, but the fact that you can get some real lovely shapes and forms out of certain types of materials, including glass and also quartz and crystal. You think this would be acceptable in the Sealy court, at least for some of the general ornamentation in the gardens and the grounds. He's obviously developed a craft over decades of just practicing over and over and over again. You also think that the fact that this glass is extremely well tempered and very, very pure for raw glass has something to do with it. And there is quite a trail of very fine, extremely white sand. It's so white and so fine that it almost looks like it would make grains of purified sugar look coarse. It looks almost like a powder when you touch it. Sophie? Charlotte doing anything?
I think I'll start to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, well, if you're using your special ability, then you can do it immediately.
I think I've already used it, so I can't unless I long
Oh,
rest.
oh, right, okay. Well done you. Thank you for knowing that, and also thank you for reminding me. Okay, so 10 minutes will go by before you can get the results of that.
Hmm.
Very good. Laura, does Byleth want to do anything?
There has not. I just want to ask if, there was any sign of life that you have witnessed other than, I don't know, the occasional insect or your friend here and, of course, Axe. Like, also, I don't know if you've heard something or if you were always lonely since you've been here or alone.
Well, when I first came up here, there was quite a lot of activity down in the kitchen. Sounded, I thought I'd never hear again. It was shouting and screaming, followed by the smell of burning flesh. And then I recently heard it again, just before I saw you. Don't suppose you had anything to do with that.
Well, no.
Deception.
Okay.
Deception.
Where-
For real.
Yeah, okay. 18.
Oh,
I'm such a
really?
killer.
That's Daria, do you want to roll his insight?
3.
Oh, and he scratches his head. That is quite a coincidence.
Yeah, well,
And
so weird.
One that even the DM wouldn't believe.
Who's the
Well,
DM?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just something I thought I sounded appropriate at the time.
Well,
Oh,
did you hear it from above, below?
oh, I only heard the noises from below in the kitchens. Um, I have heard occasionally some noises above, but they're very faint. They don't really linger. Um, I think when I was a young man, well, boy, really, I went with my father on a merchant caravan to go sell some of our wares to the local humans just outside of the city. And I remember the sounds drifting from the hammers and the anvils uh, on the wind. It was a bit like that experience. It would fade in and out, and then it would disappear completely. I don't know why that happened or what it meant, but it was very far away, and I don't recall it, and it was a long time ago.
And Rick, did you maybe hear about a place that had so many glass?
Who did you say you were asking?
Rick.
Oh, no, this is completely different. I reckon this would be very fine indeed if we weren't already metalsmiths.
Useless.
What was that?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I like you, Zinnies.
Well, she likes you too.
We should get a beer. It'll be good. It'll be fun. I'll introduce you to some of our fine spirits.
Okay.
Well, should we stay here a while or should we try to get out?
I
Follow
could
the
use a rest.
shout.
I could use a rest.
I'm not opposed to rest, but I don't need it.
I could do with a good sleep. Pretty quiet here.
Yeah. So, do you remember your name?
Of course, it's and then he
Yeah.
puts his hands on his hips and he looks up at the cavern ceiling. It's I don't remember my name actually. I had a name as a child, but once we were taken over by those horrible creatures, they just entered your mind without any advance warning, and they just spoke to you. You knew that they were addressing you because you were the only one who heard it.
Right.
Uh,
Well, is it okay if I call you Bob?
Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Bob the Builder.
Oh, Bob the
That's
Builder.
great.
But wouldn't it be more like Carl the Carver?
Or
Because I'm really carvings.
sure,
No,
if you
no,
want
no,
to be called
no,
Carl.
Bob's fine. Just seems a bit obvious, but yeah, Carl. Yeah, do you know what? I like Bob. That's fine. You can call me Bob.
Oh.
Well, Bob, is it okay if we maybe take a rest here?
Oh, of course. I don't have a lot to offer, but I'll scrape up some fresh lichen and maybe get a fresh pail of water. Darling, go see to our guests, would you? And Darling skitters off a little bit, objecting on the way, just sort of.
Well, we
And
don't
some.
need much. We just need a place to sleep.
Oh, well, my bed's not big enough for all of you, but you're welcome to try to share it if you want.
We have bedrolls. It's okay.
It's very nice. I mean, the shells of Darling's ancestors, and after sleeping on them for a few decades, uh, they're quite form fitting. They actually aren't as tough as they look. They kind of bend a little.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to impose. We do have bedrolls. We just need a safe place where we won't be attacked in the night or day or whatever time it is.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I can't speak for any of the rest of your group, but sure. I mean, it'd be nice to have company.
Well, then it's settled.
All
Let's.
right then. Yes, we shall have a feast.
Yes. Here's a
And
good
he
berry.
and he immediately starts running around the walls with like a little piece of stone in one hand and a little metal implement in the other, scraping things off the walls and piling them up onto the stone platter that he's made.
Nice.
Thank you.
I am actually going to take out my music box and find it open and open it up, and we have some music for our feast.
Aw.
Oh. And as you start playing music, he sort of looks at it and you see he looks almost hypnotized and he just sort of leans in very close with his eyes the size of dinner plates. Oh, this is great magic. Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't think it's
Oh,
magic. It's just engineering, I think.
oh, well, whatever you call it, this engine, and it's wonderful. Oh, this is amazing. Mm. And then he closes his eyes and sort of weaves his head back and forth to the music. He's a little bit off rhythm, but none of you are. You're all too polite to say anything, presumably.
Yep. I love going through my backpack. Got so much stuff.
So, are you guys going to camp here for what? Short rest, long rest, a week, another week?
A week, yeah. Nah. Long. I think Cracker needed a long rest.
Yep.
Dylan, do you want to look at the giant rat? I don't know much about druids. Do you
Sure.
know?
I'm
Get
going
that
to go over
invested?
and kind of scratch him a bit and kind of go over to memorize the form.
And Laura, because the giant rat is the figurine that is attuned to you, what command do you give it, if any?
Be nice to her.
And so it just looks at Delin and then just sort of rolls over on its back and exposes its belly to you so you can get a good look. The first thing you notice is that this is a male rat, and like all male rats, this thing is like really loaded.
Oh, not gonna turn into a giant rat at the first in time.
I mean, like the testes are like almost 1/3 of the length of the entire body of the creature.
Right.
But it just sort of lays there and just lets you examine it, right? You know, paws up, doesn't interfere. So you guys
Well,
are
what
bedding
can I try?
down?
Yeah. And as I do so, since I actually looked in my backpack, I'm going to take out a small chest, which I picked up in the room where the were-rat was. I haven't opened
Mm.
it yet.
No, right.
The one that nobody saw that I took.
That was so long ago. My
Yeah, I know.
Oh, damn.
God. Jesus. Where are my notes?
Sorry.
Hmm.
That's a very long time ago. I
That was a long time
completely
ago.
forgot about it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look up what that chest
Sure.
was.
Yeah. Just I am
Yep,
opening it now. So
you have opened it. Okay, so you guys are bedding down. What's the order of watch?
Wait, what about detect magic?
Oh, detect magic, sorry.
right.
Nothing in the room shows as magic other than what you brought into it. The glass
Oh.
figurines seem completely inert. The room itself seems to not have magic.
That's disappointing.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you. So, anybody else think Sophie's getting a little bit demanding?
Just a tad. A reasonable amount for a wizard.
A reasonable amount. My God. Wow.
Thank you, Violet. Okay, Laura.
Golly. Golly. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's nothing magical in here that sticks out.
These dwarves aren't even magical.
Mm.
Well, if I had magic, I wouldn't be stuck here, would I?
A point.
I told you, I was a kitchen, not chicken. Somebody's got chicken on the brain. I was a kitchen scullion. I like to think my creations are a bit magical.
Oh, they are. You're
Mm.
beautiful.
Ah, thank you. I
Really
did
pretty.
work very hard on them. It took years to get the first one right. You wouldn't believe how many heads I broke off by accident. So, who wants lichen soup?
Oh, I had a good berry for breakfast, so I'm good.
I'm
Same.
taking some.
Okay. Yeah, give us a constitution roll.
I knew that was coming.
Saving throw?
Yep. Me too.
Saving
What'd you
throw?
say? Yeah,
Saving throw?
Yeah.
Okay. 10.
It tastes a little bit bitter, and you also notice an aftertaste. It's not so much of an aftertaste, rather an after sensation. It's a bit stinging. For the next hour or so, your lips puff up, and Violet looks like she's had collagen injections.
Yeah, yeah. It is
But
definitely something.
but there's a pleasantly surprising amount of salt in it. Not an unhealthy amount, but considering that he literally scraped the lichen off the walls, you probably are a little surprised that it's as salty as it is, and it gives a bit of flavor. It's a bit like a turnip and nettle soup combined.
Well, thanks for the meal. And I'm doing a Kismuth. Not at him. Just a general. Wanted to specify.
He immediately falls in love with you and won't leave you alone. He just follows you around the room like a sweet little puppy dog, just having never had real affection. And in the middle of the night, Darling wraps you up in her sticky tongue and then lowers you down into the hole with the fish and leaves you there, never to be heard from again. Clearly jealous of your relationship with Bob. No, none of that happens, of course. Okay, so who's keeping watch first?
I
can.
can.
No,
Fight.
sorry. So who's I'm gonna actually change the order here so we can. So whoever's gonna keep watch first will go first in the turn order, just to keep it simple. And next is Cracker. So
Yeah, I'll
who's
take it. Yep.
okay? Shall we just do it this way, just to keep it simple? So Zenise, Charlotte, and then Byleth. Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll your perception check.
20.
Now, just to be clear, where are you keeping watch? Are you keeping watch in the cavern itself, all the way out to the chimney?
I think I'm gonna sit so I can see the entrance from the chimney and also kind of look around from that point. I'm not
So,
gonna sit and stare into the entrance, but
so you're in the cavern with the glass statuettes,
yeah.
which is like 20. It's the entrance is let's call it 10 feet from the chimney itself.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So just to be clear, you can only see the entrance to the chimney. You can't see up and down the chimney.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And Cracker?
I was kind of near the entrance to the room, the glass statuette room. So I'm kind of like bunking down right there.
Right. So around the time that you two are handing off, you're both awake. You start to hear some sounds coming from the chimney itself. Sounds like a big whoosh of fire, and you both can feel some hot air coming through the chimney.
Freaking skulls.
Okay. Should have closed that friggin' thing. Ah.
And of course, Cheesy McWhiskers is no longer with you.
Anybody have one of those spells to lock a door?
Didn't he last for 12 hours?
Oh,
Yeah, he's lasting for 12 hours.
sorry. Cheesy McWhiskers is with you.
Yes.
Just don't let him die, then we will never see him again.
I think if he dies, he turns back into the statue.
Yeah, he turns back into the statue.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'll put them in the middle.
Rick's in the room, right?
He's with you, but he
Oh.
feels very uncomfortable about leaving the mithril ball down there unattended.
Oh, yeah.
It's a national resource, you know. I'm supposed to be responsible for it. Okay, so the skulls are there, and we'll say
Does that mean I had no rest?
that means nobody had any rest. You did not complete your long rest. You did not complete a short rest either, because if you're trying to do a short rest, you can't do it. If you're trying to do a long rest, you can't do a short rest. Yep, that's what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Delin. Okay, so I put you guys over here.
Yeah.
Small mini map. Can you see it?
Cracker can begin because I need to refresh Roll20.
Okay.
It's taking a while. I lost connection
Oh, that's unfortunate.
for some reason. Yep.
So I think I would be really close to them already because if they're coming in the door, I'm in the door.
Yeah, you guys are up front. They're down here. You guys are about to swap over the. I'll put them in the back. Essentially, they're not flying. They're just in the back.
They're flying! Oh my god!
Fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Charlotte might be hiding all the way back there. Okay, so yeah, why don't we, Henrietta? Why don't you go after Cracker in this one? You go ahead, Yvonne.
All right. Well, I'm just going to grab that great axe and start swinging.
Okay.
They're back. Can I shriek they're back?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm recklessly attacking on the first one. I'm going to go with the one closest to Delin.
Okay.
I'd rather shouldn't take any damage if I can get their attention. That would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a swing.
Yeah.
16. And my next swing is normal. Hold on. 22.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
So 26, but I don't know how much they take.
Yeah, they'll take all of it.
Nice. take it.
Mm. Henrietta, are you ready?
No, keep losing connection.
Okay,
Wait,
well,
wait.
essentially, I'm just going to show you the image.
I'm
They're
here.
basically okay. You don't have to do anything on the
I'm here.
map.
I'm here.
Just use your character sheets. Fine. They're you guys are basically face
Yep.
to face because they came through the. They're actually technically 10 feet out in the corridor, but you can all you can either run up to them or shoot them from distance. Everybody else is in the cavern itself.
Yep.
So what do you want to
Let's
want
see.
to do, Henrietta?
Cracker is
What?
up against them now, right?
Yeah, and one of
She
them
run
is very
up to
heavily
them.
damaged.
Okay. I am. Sorry, Cracker. I am going to use my ice knife
Yeah, right.
to try and hit the one that she hit.
Okay.
And I have to use second level because I used all my first levels.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if that comes through. Ice knife. So, did you get the ice knife? Because I
Yeah,
got it on my end.
I saw it, and I'm just pulling up the description to double check a couple of basic things. Okay. So the thing seems to hit the first. Which skull did you aim it at?
And the one that Cracker hit.
Okay.
This one.
Okay. Okay. So the one that you hit, that Cracker had already hit, the ice knife explodes, and although the shattered ice does seem to penetrate it, it doesn't seem to do as much damage as you were expecting. Some of it just sort of bounces off the shape of the skull. But it does seem to have been damaged further. You see a couple of teeth get knocked out. And then the explosion of ice and cold doesn't seem to do any damage to either of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Cracker, of course, you will take half damage from the. Well, technically, this happened before Cracker's turn, didn't it? So Cracker's going to take the full 6 points.
Oh, she didn't just defer to
No,
after me?
her dexterity.
Oh, right. Sorry, 3 points. Right. Okay.
Well, I don't think she takes 3 either. I think it's save or don't. It's not half on
Yeah.
saving if she saves. No damage on save.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So there's
Got
no
settled
saving.
way.
There's no damage. Okay. Well done. Yep. Very good.
That's me.
All right. Anything else? Okay. So Zanice then.
Just a question: are they undead?
Yes, they are undead.
So with my helm is, as long as you has at least one diamond, emits dim light, 30-foot radius, and any other undead starts its turn in that area takes 1d6 radiant damage.
Okay. Post it. And go ahead and roll the damage. Okay. So that'll be when they start their turn.
Yeah.
But that's not an action. That just happens automatically, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want to do for your action?
Magic missile the injured one.
Okay.
Pew. Pew.
All right. On the second one, it shatters into a million pieces.
So the
You can
last
redirect
one
the
goes.
third one.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Very good.
And
And go ahead and roll the d6 for the start of its turn.
6.
Wow. All right.
Ooh, nice.
Well done, Daria. So, of course, this thing having been, attacked, it says, "We'll come after you forever." And then it says, "Ignis!" And a fireball explodes. Don't know if it's going to get all of you. I think Charlotte. Oh no, Charlotte's within range. Oh no. I know. All right. 8d6. 22 points. Everybody roll a dex save.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yes, excellent. Anybody else using inspiration? Like Sophie?
Am
I
I
don't have
included in this
inspiration.
at all?
You can always,
I've got
someone can
absorb
always,
elements, actually.
you what?
I've got absorb elements.
Are you going to use it?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Fire damage,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah, you can use it for fire damage, and so can Delin. Well done. Okay, so Delin will take 11. Cracker will take 11. Zinnis will take 5. Byleth, who is not using absorb elements, will take 22.
No, 11.
11. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes. I keep forgetting your tiefling now. 11. And Sophie will take, Charlotte will take 5.
Yay.
It's so much easier to survive when you use your reactions, hey? Well done.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Well done, Sophie.
I
Okay.
had to cast it at 2nd level, so I get an extra 3
Oh,
absorbed.
okay. Cool. Well done. Yeah, so this fireball barely hurt any of you. Charlotte, your chance for revenge.
I thought you said it disappeared or something. Did it not?
One of them was destroyed by a magic missile. Well, combination of all the damage done by Cracker and Delin, and then Zinnis' magic missiles. But the second one is still there.
In that case, I'll use magic missile level 2.
Woo!
Ew. 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 Ew.
Wow. Okay. It looks like it's whatever the equivalent of a flaming skull version of being bloodied would be. Well done, Charlotte. Does it feel good to get that in? Do you feel like you got?
It'll feel better when it dies.
Wow. Excellent. All right, Byleth.
Yes.
You get to attack now.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. I'm gonna use chromatic orb, thunder damage, 2nd level to damage that thing. Then
It sails off into the corridor. It hits the back wall of the chimney, and you just hear, and you, from your vantage point, you just see rocks falling and dirt falling. The whole cavern
know.
starts shaking. Roll
gonna do-
1d6.
Oh god. 1.
One of the statues next to where the entrance is cracks, and you see the top half of this beautifully, carefully and lovingly crafted statue just break and slide off at an angle and crash to the floor, leaving just a couple of standing legs and half a lower abdomen.
Oh no.
Bob screams, "No!"
Well, I'm just gonna go.
Oops.
Whoopsie. I'm just gonna go as far back as I can, I guess. Or like here. And while going there, I'm just gonna be like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
All right. Anything for Cheesy McWhiskers? I'll give you a one-word command if you want.
Um,
You can order an attack if you want it.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna say attack. And let him attack.
Okay. And Cheesy
Yeah.
McWhiskers dashes forward and screeches, "Squeak, squeak!" and tries to bite the flaming skull.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Uh-huh. I get advantage when I'm within my allies' range. So,
Okay.
and it's +4 to hit, so
Okay.
15.
So it does manage to successfully bite it, but it doesn't seem to do very much damage. You see like a little bit. You think maybe that also the particular type of damage that Cheesy does isn't really that effective against this thing.
Good boy. Doing such a great job. And no, he can't go back. Okay.
Somewhere on another plane, you sense Ivy just turning green with rage and jealousy.
Oh no.
Okay, Delin, top of the order.
Right. I don't really have much for flaming stuff. Uh, he's almost dead, isn't he? He was blooded.
Yeah.
Blood. I am going to step over the other one, and I'm going to try and hit him with my spear.
Okay.
Oh, everything. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Is
You
he immune to fire damage?
does it have fire damage?
It
Oh,
has, because I had
because of your
absorb
absorb
elements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the fire doesn't seem to
I can
do
do it.
anything,
No.
but and the spear itself doesn't seem to penetrate as deeply as you would have thought, but it does scratch it a little bit.
Take that. Just gonna say.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Cracker. Very good.
Someone go close that door. And I'm just gonna keep attacking this thing. That's what I do. Do I need to move?
I don't. No, you're
No?
fine.
Okay. Reckless on the first one. Well, that was pointless.
Yeah.
Well, and that's going to be enough to destroy it.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Well done. Zanice is all teed up with her finger guns. Sorry, Daria. Okay. Combat over. Anybody want to do anything?
I kick
I'm
them
gonna scoop
down.
up the pieces. Yeah, scoop up the pieces so we kick them down, and I'm also going to try. I'm gonna put on my crampons, and I'm going to climb down to see if I can kind of secure the shaft door.
Okay. So it's just a standard flu. It's not really right. Like it was locked in place via the arcane lock spell, which you guys figured out and you dispelled successfully.
Right. But
There's
they
no.
went up, right?
Sorry.
When we opened them, the doors went up.
That's right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they were kind of held in place by the dead body.
Yeah. And I am going to put. I have some volcanic glass in my backpack, so I'm going to use 2 of them to try and kind of stuff in the opening so that they can't go up.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting
Uh,
low on volcanic glass here. We need to go back.
there's plenty of glass in the other room. Some of it freshly crushed and destroyed.
True, but I feel like the volcanic glass is a little bit harder.
It's sharper. I'm not sure if it's harder.
Well,
Volcanic glass is notoriously fragile.
don't tell me that. I don't know that.
You, as you played with the volcanic glass at various camp, when you're camping out at night, it's it's very sharp when you chip it away, but it takes very little effort to chip a section. You can literally push on it with your fingertip and break off sections of it, which is why it becomes so sharp, because you can do it so carefully and quickly that you can get a very nice, even, sharp edge.
Right.
But it basically
Well,
breaks every time if you use it once, it'll break.
right. And then I'm going to climb up again with my crampons on, and I'm going to push the half of the dwarf that Byleth destroyed down the hole, so it keeps the shaft locked.
That was Larry. I liked Larry. He was the first one I carved.
Sorry, but
Sorry.
Larry's going to keep us alive.
And you just hear a crash. Oh, you're animals. Oh,
You have new friends now.
I
really?
wasn't
Just carve
trying to
another
do
one.
that.
No. Did somebody say they were calming him down?
Oh,
What did you say, Sophie?
I said you can just carve another one.
That's heartless.
I know.
They're like my children. I can't just make another one. Oh, but you know, that over there. And he looks at a piece of unformed molten glass in the corner. You know, that would be a good byleth.
Yeah. Right? Or is it
And
forward?
that's where we're going to stop today. All right. Well, you guys managed to succeed in fending off those regenerating skulls. If only there was some way to destroy them
Yay.
permanently.
there probably is, but
Rick now is sitting there thinking, but how am I going to get my bowl back?
sorry.
No.
That's a
Think
problem
about
for future Rick. Forgot about that.
And how's King Bruno going to get out if he has to go that way?
Oh fuck.
Oh god.
You've just trapped King Bruno with two of those evil things.
Oh. Well, that's a problem for tomorrow, okay? We need to rest.
Oh god.
Right. Well,
Right.
thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. That was pretty funny.
And I guess you guys figure out what your t-shirt orders are, and we will see about getting them ordered.
Yes.
Okay. And or if you want
Okey-dokey.
something else, like a shopping bag, or what did you call it? A satchel? No,
Tote.
a tote. Right. Okay. Oh, toodaloo.
Woo.
Hello.
Bye.
Bye.
Get well
Bye.
soon.
See you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.